Hey, so this is Chiante Jones with Dollars and Change. Hope y'all are doing well. Hey everyone. So I'm in a new space today. I joined a co-working space here in Charlotte. So I'm working from this space. Hopefully the sound is okay. I'm in one of the phone booths, and there is like a little event going on. So hopefully you guys can't hear all of that. Um, but yeah, I wanted to hop on and do a video today about of budgeting. Well, a common misconception about budgeting. So I wanted to talk about it a little bit and share my perspective on it. And then I want you guys to drop a comment below and let me know what you think once you hear my perspective, okay? So a common misconception that I hear about budgeting is that budgeting is too restrictive. It's too limiting. You won't be able to do anything fun. And so a lot of times people just don't even want to budget because they don't want to feel like they're restricted and can't do anything with their money. So I call BS, y'all. I call BS. I actually think budgeting is the opposite of that. I think it's actually freeing and empowering to have a budget. Um, and really, at the end of the day, a budget, all it is a plan. It's a plan for your money. And that's literally what I call it with my clients is their money plan, like a monthly money plan. And all it is just deciding what you want to do with your money, where you want it to go. Simple as that. And so if you feel like you're deprived because of your budget and you can't do anything, then I say that you're budgeting the wrong way, right? So I think you're doing it wrong if you feel like you can't do anything just because you have a budget. So first, I just want to start out just sharing some of my beliefs about budgeting in general. Like I said, and I do think it is very beneficial to do it, and I think it is something that that you should do. You should budget in some degree. There's a lot of different ways to budget. So you just have to find a method that works well for you. But I do think a budget is really necessary, or a money plan is necessary to really do what you want to do with your money and get it moving forward. So as far as my beliefs about money, about budgets is one thing is I don't believe in deprivation. So sacrificing, if you're like sacrificing is one thing, deprivation is another thing. So if you are choosing to say give up something in the short term because you sacrifice something in the short term because you have like a bigger goal that you're trying to get to, or there's something bigger that you're trying to do. Sacrificing is one thing, but to deprive yourself where you feel like you're miserable, you really can't do anything, which I think is a conception that a lot of people have about budgeting, is more deprivation. Then I think that's not the way you want to do it. It's really hard to stick to something when you're feeling deprived, when you feel like you can't do anything. I think it's important to have a balance within your budget to where you still are able to do some things that you want to do while reaching your goals. And so, like, if deprivation is what you're feeling, then I say you're budgeting the wrong way. I do not believe in deprivation. It's not something that I want my clients to do. I don't think, life is too short to be feeling deprived all the time. It's about finding what works. And sometimes there are trade-offs required, and you have to prioritize things, but you should not be feeling like you're living in like a constant state of deprivation. Sacrifice, maybe; deprivation, no. Okay? The other thing is that I believe that a budget should be dynamic. I think a lot of times, with maybe traditional budgeting or where people get, turned around on budgeting is that they feel like once they've set their budget, there's like, you can't change it at all. And I don't believe that. I mean, things change. Something might come up during the month or whatever. And if you need to make adjustments during the month for your budget and reallocate money to something else, another priority, then why can't you do that, right? Your budget should be dynamic. It should be able to move as things come up or you need to make adjustments now. You shouldn't be always like dipping in the savings or whatever else. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking about if something legitimately comes up and you want to say you want to reallocate the money from something else you were doing to what came up, then why can't you choose to do that? It's your money, right? I think that this feeling restrictive is probably because you feel like once you set the budget, you can't make any changes to it. And I say, well, I believe that you can. You can make some adjustments. And actually, the budgeting method that I use is it allows you to see what happens when you make those choices. So like they see the impact over time of the financial choice that you're making. So I think it definitely is okay to be able to make changes to your budget. So another belief that I have about budgeting is that it should be value based. Money is personal, so everybody's budget is a little different. Everybody's priorities are a little different. When I work with clients, I'm not necessarily trying to, or I'm not trying to get them to do exactly what I would do with the money. If I was in their situation, I'm trying to figure out and help them determine what do they want and what's the best thing for them and their circumstances. So it's not, my goal is not to teach you to be just like me, or make you be just like me. No, I do want to help guide you, and I'll share my thoughts and my opinions and everything, but at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your budget, it's your life, it's what you want to do with it, and I'm here to support you in trying to get there the best way that you can. So I think it should be based on your values and what's important to you and what your priorities are. So I think budgeting should be value based. Okay. Um, and I also don't So I don't like to track every transaction. I know there are some financial, gurus and experts out there that say to do that, and I think there is some value in that, depending on the situation. Where, I mean, it definitely can show you what has been happening with your money and what your spending habits are. But as far as budgeting on a regular basis, I don't want to have to put every transaction I'm doing into a spreadsheet and all that kind of stuff. I'm not trying to do that. I do check my account regularly, and I can look at transactions that way. I do that just to see where the spending is going, and I also do that just to make sure nothing, no suspicious activity is happening to my accounts, and just to stay on top of my money. But I'm not trying to put it all in a spreadsheet and track it, and I don't have my clients do that. That could be very tedious, and so I mean, and that can really make you want to not budget, right? Because who wants to keep up with that every single transaction? So the thing is to make it easy, something that you can keep up with. And so I can understand why somebody would not want to, do budgeting if they have to track every transaction. So that is not what the system that I use with my clients. I don't want to track transactions. Okay. So now that I've kind of shared some of my beliefs around budgeting, I also want to share some of the benefits of budgeting. So like a lot of times, like I said, people have this misconception about budgeting being too restrictive and too limiting, and they don't want to do it. But there are a lot of benefits that come from budgeting. Okay. So one of them is clarity, right? Clarity about where your money is going. If you have a money plan in place and a budget in place, you should be able to clearly see where your money is going. At least in the way that I work with my clients, in the system that I show my clients, you will see where all your money is going and have a very clear picture of that. And a lot of times that in itself is very valuable, for people to be able to see, because a lot of times they don't know where their money is going. So having that clarity is something that having a budget or a money plan can do for you. Another thing is being able to handle what are so often called unexpected expenses with more ease, and have them be less disruptive to your, regular monthly spending or bills. So when I say unexpected expenses, these are things like house repairs or car repairs, or just, something that always seems to come up, which a lot of times, if you really think about it, these things aren't really that unexpected. A lot of times it's just that they have not been properly planned for. So having a budget or a money plan allows you to plan for those things, like, your new set of tires, or a oil change, or whatever it may be that typically will be disruptive to your budget, or throw you off track because you're trying to figure out how to get the money to cover it. If you have planned ahead for that and have it as part of your money plan, then it makes it a lot easier to deal with those things when they come up. Okay, so that's something that's a benefit of having a money plan, is to be able to handle those expenses with ease and not have them be disruptive to your monthly spending. Okay, or at least minimize the impact on your monthly spending. Another benefit is having confidence in your financial decisions. So when you know where your money is going and what you're doing with your money, and you're reaching your goals and all those things, you feel more confident in your financial decisions. You feel more confident in what you're doing and knowing that you're reaching those goals. So like a lot of times, people might shy away from financial decisions or making financial decisions because they feel bad with money, or whatever else. But if you feel like you're in control of your money, or you are in control of your money by looking at your finances and having a plan for it, you will definitely feel more confident in any decisions that you're making. And again, with the system that I use with my clients, they are able to see the impact of that decision over time. So visually able to see that, which also adds to their confidence in making financial decisions, because you can put something in the sheet to see, oh, if I do this, what will be the impact of that? And if you can see ahead of time what that will mean by making that decision, it allows you to make that decision with confidence, because you already know the impact of it. So financial confidence is something that comes along with having a money plan or a budget. Okay. Something else that a budget allows you to do is to be more intentional. So you can decide exactly where you want your money to go before you even get it. You can decide that. And maybe that's what some people feel is restrictive. But like I said, I really view it as being empowering, because now you know and you are deciding ahead of time. Rather, you're being proactive rather than reactive to whatever comes up, or whatever else. You're deciding where you want it to go. So you're being intentional. You're being empowered and making those decisions before it actually happens. Um, and so you are able to decide where you really want it to go. Another thing that comes along with that, so another benefit is you're able to optimize your money. You're able to have your money go exactly where you want it to go, and you're able to help your money reach its full potential because you're taking time to plan it out and think about what you want to do with it. And so it helps you actually make progress with your money and reach your goals. So you have the intention, which then also allows you to optimize your spending and where your money is going. So you have this, high income coming in. A lot of times like I said, you may not have the fruit of your labors to show for it. Well, having a plan will actually allow you to do that and to see your progress over time because you've been taking the time to plan for it. Okay. Another benefit is to have guilt-free spending. So the way that I set up money plans with my clients is that we have an amount allocated to be able to for spending, for day-to-day spending. And it's such peace of mind to know that this, $500, $1,000, $1,500, whatever it is that has been set aside is specifically for you to be able to spend. So you're not spending wondering whether you are spending money that you should need to be using on something else. You're not spending whether spending bill money or money that should be going to debt. You already have a plan in place. You've already laid it out, and you have designated this amount of money for spending. So when you spend it, you know you're good. You know you're not compromising any of your financial goals by using this money to, go to happy hour or whatever else. That's what that money is for. So it gives you that freedom and that peace of mind to know that, oh, okay, I could spend this money that's here because it's been specifically set aside for that, and I'm not compromising my financial goals at the same time. So that gives you, again, confidence and that clarity to know that. And last but not least is it gives you an awareness of how much you're spending. So again, having the clarity to know where your money is going, what's going on with it, you're in control of it. It gives you an awareness of how you're spending. And a lot of times, because overspending, a lot of times you don't know. You might know you spend a little too much, but you really don't know how much you're spending until you really have a plan in place and can see it. So I was talking with my husband about this, about this kind of budgeting, chatting with him about it. And one comment that he made, I found it really be true. Like he was like, well, people a lot of times they don't necessarily spend $500. Like you'll notice that, right? You'll know that maybe you don't need to spend that $500 on a certain thing. But he said, but they may not realize that they're spending that $50 10 times, right? So like you're having awareness about the $500 because that's a larger sum of money. But if you spend $50 here, $50 there, you went out to eat, you bought a shirt, whatever else. So $50 10 times over the month, that's still $500. But you have a lot less awareness about that if you don't see it all aggregated together. So having a money plan will allow you to have an awareness of what your spending is. Okay. So those are all benefits of budgeting and having a money plan. And a lot of times this is really what people need to really get their money together, is just having a plan in place. And this is what I primarily help my clients with, is coming up with that plan. A lot of times they don't know where to start or what to do or how to put the best plan in place. So that's basically what a budget is. It's a plan, y'all. That's all it is. And so like a lot of people just shy away from budgeting, for various reasons, with being too restrictive, feeling like it's too restrictive being one of them. But I'm here to say that it really is what gives you freedom and more flexibility in your finances by having a plan in place. All right. So those are my beliefs and my views and the benefits that I feel like budgeting adds, budgeting or having a plan provides. I want you to comment below. Let me know what you think about budgeting. Do you have a budget? Do you feel like it's too restrictive? Do you not have it because you feel like it's too restrictive? Or what are some of your other reasons why you may not want a budget or you agree with budgeting? Comment below. Let me know. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I will catch you next time. Bye.